Well, guys, we're live. Welcome to Crazy Pinfalls. We've got the beautiful crew here. Got a lot of turmoil going inside, considering everybody's chirping this morning. Yes, I have noticed there's a lot of plugs going out there. One of them being Pluggo himself. We only got him for a few minutes, so we figured why not Tad break down the first round of the tournament.
All I'm going to
So
say is I'm mad I forgot my popcorn because I know it's about to get serious.
so Tad, go right ahead.
Yeah, we had an awesome predictions show. Anakin JMT joined me. It was double or nothing predictions. Obviously, Ray Angry Beaver had his show during the week as well. He gave his predictions. We had those ready. Anakin gave his predictions. After each prediction, I revealed Angry Beaver's score. The times I
had to
didn't,
remind
don't worry.
you.
Yeah, I was gonna say the times I didn't.
you
don't
were
worry.
grilling him, man.
Anakin
Like,
reminded
He
me.
wasn't telling me. Like, I need to know what he predicted.
I can't wait to
That's
hear
how intense the competition was and how deeply Anakin wanted to know what the scores were and to be able to kind of get a feel for what Ray was going for and what he was picking. So these guys have been feuding. Obviously, if you first time watching the show, welcome. I was really glad that you could come and be part of the show. But if you're a regular, you know that these guys have been feuding for a couple of weeks now. They're trying to decide who is the better man, who is the better predictor. And there was only one way to find out. And really, for any wrestling fan, there's only one way to find out, and that's to enter the Crazy Wicked Pinfall predictions show. Put your money where your mouth is and stand a chance to win a brand new title belt. Throwback will obviously talk more about that and the exciting news about that, timescales and all of that good stuff. But for me, all I could do is just be the referee, be the guy in the middle, throw out the questions, let them predict and see if we could determine a winner. And in typical fashion, as these things seem to go at the moment, it was a very close one. It was a really, really close one. And I'm looking at their scores now. We sent the scores over to the stats guys. They looked at them. They calculated them. Each prediction was based on who you think was going to win the match. And then we had two bonus questions as well. The first bonus question was who they think the Joker was going to be in the Casino Battle Royale. And then also in the Triple Threat main event, it was who they think was going to get pinned in that main event. Now, that second one was really important, and it ended up being what broke the tiebreaker here, because they both had 8 out of 12 in their score predictions. So both had 8 out of 12. We had a tie, but I don't believe in ties. I can't do ties. I don't do ties. We don't do ties on the show. We can't cut the belt in half. We can't give half the belt to Angry Beaver, and we can't give half the belt to Anakin JNT. We have to determine a winner. I don't think Throwback would be quite happy if we had to cut the belt in half and sort of send two pieces to do.
Not after what he paid for it.
No,
and I literally have no idea who won. Like, I know that people are probably thinking like, oh, they all know, and this is a work. I'm legit like, I gotta know.
So before we reveal this, yes, the only people who know what's about to happen are Mr. Predictable and Mr. JMT. And even Mr. Predictable doesn't actually know everything that's about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Yep. And it's the best way to do it, because we got to keep it neutral. So without further ado, do you guys have any, Aaron, did you have any prediction on who you think won between the two of them, between Anakin JMT or Angry Beaver?
I'm going to go Angry Beaver.
Interesting. Throwback?
I have to stay neutral on this, considering I'm the proprietor and distributor of said tournament.
Wise choice. What about Pluggo? You're slap bang in the middle of them. Which way are you leaning?
I literally thought you guys were going to say I won. No,
well, while Pluggo's on here, after you announce the winner, I'm going to be happy to announce the next 2 matches right now. And we're going to be trying to schedule those. Well, we got Pluggo for 4 minutes.
Well, my boy Ray did drop me a chug video today, so I got to leave with my guy Ray. You know, got to leave with the heart. And Anakin, you didn't protect my gimmick in the Discord. You're like, you're barely here, so he can use the popcorn. Jesus, Anakin, I was one of the dudes. I was in there for a while. I just busy.
Anakin's making more enemies, huh?
No, hey. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad they both tied it up, and it's came down to whatever it's come down to. Because, like I said, this has been going on for what? Yeah. Months now, and a few months.
Leading up to WrestleMania.
Next thing you know, Pluggo goes into his show, and just by the way, go to Love Wrestling after this, after our show, and see Pluggo. But he's going to end up turning around and saying he was shocked, and JPJ is going to be like, "What are you shocked about?" That one of the guys who talks so much crap about how good someone's in his head is literally in the next round.
Wait, what?
So let's get this going. We got only a couple
minutes. All right, who
won?
Drum roll.
Okay, so without further ado, for those keeping score at home, in the predictions, one of them picked Orange Cassidy to win, and for Pat.
Oh yeah, I knew it was him.
And then the other person chose Kenny Omega to win, and for Orange Cassidy to be pinned. Now we all know, having watched Double or Nothing, that's a double whammy. Not only did they pick Kenny Omega winning, they also picked Orange Cassidy winning, which means they got the bonus point. The winner of the first feud of the Crazy Wicked Pinfalls predictions show is none other than the guy who turned babyface mid-feud. It's Anakin JMT.
What?
Wait, that was an easy. How did you choose Orange Cassidy?
You gotta be joking me.
I want to know what you're thinking.
So here's the thing. Oh no, so here's the thing. I will defend that pick because there's a lot of good story you can still tell with that. But I'll save that for another time because we got things to get done here. So I do think it was a good pick. I will defend it later, if not for freaking Don Callis. And I get it. That's the story. And it does suck that Orange Cassidy was the one to get pinned, but like, you know, it is what it is. Now, I will say that I got the people on my side. I like it. I will say though that in regards to the decision for how we broke the tie,
I'm gonna get you on the Warren's post show tonight, DGMC.
Hey,
just wait.
He supports me. It's okay.
Well, how about this, right? Because why don't, since he's scared, because I want to get this announcement quick. Well, we'll talk more about this app in a little bit. So 2 matches are going to be announced right now. Hey, it's Maggie. What's up? If you get home in time and if you're not tired, let me know. I will have you pop in real quick. Because I wanted to ask you something anyways. Match number 2. Aaron is going against No Profanity September. Big match. Ron Patel. Going to be coming up real soon. And since he's on there, and since he's going over there, the dream match is going to happen. A Wicked Crazy Pinfalls crossover match. For the first time ever in this tournament, we will be having this man for the first time ever facing his boss. Yes, we will have a Vince McMahon scenario. What? In that match, it will be Spencer Love versus Pluggo. And the match is going to have a stipulation. What will that stipulation be? I don't know. Me and Tad will talk about that.
So now Pluggo has to go on his show and talk to his boss and be like, "What the heck?"
And clean my wall. I'm shocked, throwback. Why you want to do Spencer like that? Before I get out of here, why you want to do Spencer like that?
Because it's a match that's like made in heaven, considering the fact that you guys are telling your own story over there about it. Pluggo going into the woodshed a couple of times for breaking the budget.
You gotta be Steve Austin on that show, man. You gotta be like Steve Austin.
Dude, we've got some budget breaking stuff going on over there in the next couple of weeks. I would tell you what, man. Woo! Spenny's gonna, he's probably gonna have to open that checkbook to have somebody make the picks for him because he knows I'm winning. It's just, it is what it is.
And watch, so everybody starts cutting promos now because this title is real. It is in production right now in their shop that I hired, and literally, probably by the end of the month, going into the next pay-per-view cycle, we will have the Wicked Crazy World title. These guys have seen what it's going to look like. You guys will love it, and we'll go from there.
So, in regards to the decision of how we broke the tie, I do have to say, I think that that's an incredibly fair way to do it. It came down to it basically at the end of the night. It came down to a match where, we had multiple options of what could come, and I was wrong completely. And he got the person, and I think it's fitting that given that I picked the person who got pinned, like, it is what it is. Like, I think I did a great job. He tied me. So, like, it's not like it's a super clean victory, but, like, it is what it is. And I don't have any issue with it.
Man?
And you know what? Sometimes you open with a banger, and that's what we did here. We opened with a match that had been brewing for
and then
months.
You follow with a squash match, which is what I'm about to do to Spencer Love.
Well, the second match out is always the second match is always so.
Let's be honest. Before I got it's throwback. He's trying to get me fired so that I'm back on Wicked Crazy Pinfalls.
You and Tad should form a tag team because the Authority is getting to you. There you go, the iconic tag team.
It's funny. I'm in the middle of it.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I can't be mad at it because I didn't want to tie anyways. So I will be honest. As far as I look, like, Anakin, you did a great job. Like, well done, sir. Like, respect that for sure. So as we move out of this, I'm not one to just kind of sit by and do nothing. So I look at what's the next path that I can carve out here. And I'll be honest, this all started because you and I were, a collected group, and, we called ourselves the OC. And I mean, Orange Cassidy, OC, like, this seems like the best time of all time to do a little, little reunion.
Oh, you two are doing that respect thing. Where you guys
win.
Cheers. It looks like a tag team has been formed.
Chug.
Oh, heck no.
I chugged once already today.
Yeah, a hose water.
But
dude, that
yes,
was impressive.
A tag team, while all of you guys are cutting your singles promos, we're going to carve a new path to where everyone goes, you know what? We're all doing our own thing, but the OC is running everything. So I guess everybody get ready, but the OC is back, y'all.
And here's on the thing. And Drew, this is for you. You call yourself how you're going to be 2 belts, Drew. The fact of the matter is, the 1 belt you have, you bought it. You didn't even earn it. You bought it. And a real champion earned their title. And you know what I am? Champion. And you know what? If I win the title, you know who also is going to be champion? This guy right here.
And
if he wins the title, I'm going to be a champion.
You're like cool. You're like
no matter who's champion, the OC is going to rule this roost.
So I guess you're like Lake Cool.
So
hey boys,
different than Lake Cool.
I gotta run.
Let me spoil that little roost.
I'm not done like yet. PRE Star. If one of us is champion, we're all champion.
Leave real quick. Here's the thing. In this tournament, this is what I was going to announce. Ray is not done yet. There is going to be a fatal 4-way match for 4 people in this tournament who lose to get themselves a shot back into it.
Ooh, well, Spencer Love will be in that with Ray.
I was going to say, so Pluggo's going to be in that with Ray?
Spencer.
So, you know what?
If I'm in it with Ray, finger poking a doom. I'm falling on the sword.
So I'm always down for more competition. So readily accept the invite. But as far as moving forward goes, like Anakin and I, like we're back. The OC is reunited, but I'm gonna push him to get that title. And when he gets the title, we'll have a friendly little match because realistically, like we did tie. But if my man gets the title, friendly competition, we'll break that tie. and everything will be all right with the world.
Once the title comes to West Michigan, it's never leaving, boys. It's just going to go back and forth. It's just going to go back and forth between us. That's all it's going to do.
I'm right. Hey guys, I'm like right here. Just
no, you're not. You're like
South Bend.
You're like way over here.
No, South Bend is right there. This is.
I thought you were in Wisconsin.
No, South Bend, baby. It's like
right
in
there. Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
I love you guys.
I need to address this rumor.
All right, Pluggo, you got to go quick.
So, Drew, I know that I mentioned this. This was only if I won the inaugural match. I'm not going to be the first champion, so if I win it, it's mine.
You can put doubt in his mind, though, just by saying that. Guys going to be all paranoid, like, oh, he's going to turn on me? When's he going to turn on me?
I'm getting RK Bro vibes here. I'm getting RK Bro vibes here.
We already established that we'll have a friendly match together.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. But he's got to get there first, and we got to do that, and we'll get there.
Yep.
He ain't going to get there, because I'm going to win this thing, just out of spite.
Okay, well.
Looks like I'm
going
to South Bend with
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking ahead at Drew.
All right, I got to go.
Sorry.
I love you guys.
Take care, man. Take care.
Bye.
Peace.
Hey.
Well, he is mad about that matchup. He is not happy.
Yeah, well, I warned him.
You did.
I warned him. And it's not.
You gotta create drama. You gotta create drama.
And the thing about it is that match makes extremely sense, because if you're watching, if you go to Love Wrestling and watch Pluggo's show, and the first two shows, literally you would see him being like, "Oh, great, I'm going to the woodshed. I'm going to the office," and I know those guys are really great and stuff, but can you see Spencer winning against Pluggo, and then Pluggo gets into the buy-in match to get back into the tournament, in towards a spot at a shot at it, and Pluggo wins, and there he is with the Wicked Crazy Pinfalls title on his show once a week.
I do think that you've got to put something on this, though, because if we're going to be honest, a match of 4 losers, if you lose that match, like, there should be a real punishment for that. So
suck a lemon. Like what they're doing on To Party Uno, suck a lemon. Or if you want to be like Cole and be dumb, you get a bag of like really spicy beef jerky and you got to eat a piece of it live on the air, and then you'll end up going like this because it hurts so much.
We'll come up with something. We got it. We'll get there.
So the parameters of this also is that if you've seen the prediction show, that and then we'll get into the week that was, because there's a lot of stuff we have to cover real quick.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you're somebody that's in this tournament and you can't be on camera, that's perfectly fine. If DMGC wants to be in this tournament, but he doesn't want to be on camera, send the pics to Tad or me, or, one of these 2 freaking OC producers here, or even Rob or something, and we'll do the same thing. We'll have your opponent over there on one side, and we'll read off your picks on the other. I mean, if 2 people are not doing it, then one of the producers will slide right in.
And
so,
also,
I mean,
just to jump in on that, if you guys do have picks for the different events and you're not necessarily the one whose matchup is being showcased on the predictions show on the other channel, on the sister channel, send your predictions to me. I'll add them to the database that has been created. I was showing Anakin JMT behind the scenes as well.
Hey, she's finally on here.
What's up?
So I have a question for you.
First of all, hi.
Yeah, throwback. Gosh.
I'm sorry. Well, this is the amazing Maggie. She's really awesome. She's always been nice to me, and every time we talk, it's always fun. It's always a pleasure, and I finally got my wish, and I finally got her on, so I'm excited. So the question is that you're aware we're doing this tournament, correct?
Yes. So
do you want to be part of it? And you never know. Even though you're over in Bulgaria, you could become an actual title holder. I don't mind shipping it across seas.
You say that until you look at the price.
How long will get there?
And second of all, by the time it gets to me, it would have changed hands like 5 times already.
But still, you would still be, the champion nonetheless. And this is not a show belt. This is real. Like, I'm putting the financial backing on this. It's being in production right now. I'll show you the proof of it too. And it's actually 100% real. So it'd be great if you're in it, because that way it makes it more fun. And this is my gift. This belt in this tournament is my gift to the community because of them giving back so much to me. This is me giving back to them.
This is so sweet. Like, I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
What is this tournament all about? Are you going to? Will it be like Quizzlemania? Because I feel like I've never watched wrestling in my life when I watch Quizzlemania.
No. So what it is like you do a prediction show. So like, since you work different time hours, you would send your picks for the pay-per-view to either me or Tad or Ray, and we'll have the person you're facing over on screen, and they announce your picks.
Okay, if this is the case, just give it to me. Why are we doing this?
Well, I figured it's something nice and it's something different. You see all these people like pass the same title belt, like how Wrestle Talk does, where they just pass the that champion between all 4 of them and stuff. No, this is something where I'm willing to send it to the person and have them carry that title with, pride and stuff like that. So it's kind of like saying, here, this is a gift. This is actually a competitive belt that anybody in the community, it could be you, it could be Tad, it could be Aaron, it could be anybody. So, I mean, if you're down for it, just let me know.
Yeah, of course, sure. This is cool, yeah.
Next thing you know, she's on a watch along holding that belt, and Sean's like, you need to get that belt off your shoulder.
What? Hell no. What?
Get that title belt off.
He's like the lord of everything. Joel has the Fightful championship. Like, what the fuck? Let me have something in.
Yeah, I don't mind shipping it too. So I mean, it's the belt is in production right now. It's exciting and it's something different. So I figured I'd get you on camera and actually ask you to see if you wanted to. Because I know your schedule's all wonky and stuff, especially since being on the time. Lee Moriarty just signed it to work.
So I did it auto-corrected Lee to Leo for some reason, probably because I talk about Leo Rush all the time. But yeah, Lee Moriarty just signed to MLW, so that's awesome. If you've never seen him work, good stuff.
Wasn't he in AEW for shows and stuff?
I don't think he did any AEW stuff. He may have done some dark stuff, but I don't recall it.
Yes.
But yeah, he's very, very good.
Okay. So you want to stick around and we can talk about the releases for a bit, get your opinion on it, Maggie, about all this stuff?
Oh, you want to hear me curse in Bulgarian? Is that what you're having me say?
Sure. We're on Twitch too right now, so you can.
I don't think we'll get in trouble. I don't think we'll get in trouble.
No, we won't.
Us Americans are dumb. We can't even speak our own language correctly. See?
Like when you just said us Americans.
Yeah, see? Yeah. I admit it. I'm one of them.
Yeah, in States maybe.
Hey,
you have French as a second language. You don't count in that regard.
And with the French?
Careful.
You got Louisiana.
I just say that because on occasion, show. Warren and Ben will just start talking in French to each other. I'm like, okay, I don't know what they're saying.
We're an inclusive show.
Basically.
All languages are welcome.
They are.
So why don't we get right into this list? So it's an interesting scenario that they did the bulk of it and then released these 6. Out of the 6, who do you think is the most shocking on that list?
Strowman.
So for me, it is and it isn't Strowman, because as far as them doing this after the last round, they are basically doing them every month now. Like when July hits, I'm just going to be waiting for them. Like that's what they've gotten me to. That's what they've gotten me to condition to the last couple of months. When July 1st hits, I'm just waiting to see who gets released in early July, just because they've done it 3 months in a row now.
The first wave will be July. I mean
from April. not of them getting cleared to like their 90 days being up. I mean, just like
a new round of release.
A new round of cuts.
Oh,
like,
you think so?
I really do. I think that's what they're going to do until they get the roster cut down to where like it's a little bit more manageable for them to where, because like they have a lot of people that they don't use. They have over 220 different rostered wrestlers. Like they don't use enough of them.
Do you know why they don't use them? Because they book the same fucking match every week.
Yeah. And you know, and the fact is there was that dumb select report today of you had top people in the company going down to the PC looking at the PC matches, trying to figure out who can get called up. So it's just once again like they're planning on calling up people to fill the holes that they just created by releasing people they could have used to fill the holes. It makes no sense.
They were saying that Braun was making over $1 million a year, though.
Yes,
like,
that's true.
I think you're looking at that. Like,
I think you're looking at Osmos. I think Meltzer said this. You know, Osmos and AJ Styles. He's the guy who's going to replace Braun in that because Braun's the big man, but Osmos is a bigger guy. He's the guy who's going to replace Braun.
Oh, you mean Almost? Okay.
Osmos, yeah, whatever. I think that's what they're thinking. Why pay a guy $1 million when he's past his peak? When to pay this guy is much cheaper and might have a brighter future, which I kind of don't see. I think Braun was a much better worker even years ago than
See, and you're kind of hitting on something right there because
and Kubota I'm just saying, and Commander Aziz too from SmackDown side.
Yeah, you're kind of hitting on something there too because I'm sure that in their mind, if they can have call-ups and have the people sign new contracts that are cheaper than what the contracts are of the people that all just got released, from a pure business sense. But the fact of the matter is that then you have to work on getting those people over when you have people that just got over. And in this case of Aleister Black was literally just on TV last week, Friday. Like we would have been talking about how, so I guess we're going to get a Black versus Big E feud. Well, that'll be cool. I mean, we'll probably see it a dozen times, but they should still have some good matches. And instead now we're talking about how we're not going to see that. And it's literally left hand doesn't know what the right is doing.
What does that do for Big E now? Like, what does that do for Big E?
You were just mentioning the business side of things. I think it's also a huge step in a weird direction, I suppose, one we're not used to as fans or can't really think about or process as fans, in that this could be a decision that's been taken out of Vince McMahon's hands. I know he's still got the creative side of things and all of that, but from a business side of things, the company has always been using the policy recently of we're going to hoard all the talent just to make sure that, you know, we keep certain people from being able to go to other companies or being in the independent scene. Whereas we're now seeing sort of a system of they're going, I think, wrestler by wrestler, going through a list. Vince, do you need this person? What is this person being used for? Okay, you don't need them. Okay, we got to get rid of them. There's no reason for us to keep these people. So I think they're doing a shift from a business perspective of hoarding all the talent to, okay, we're only going to have the people that we need. Now, my worry with that is the moment they thin the squad, they thin the rosters down, they're going to stop the brand split, because they're going to have too few people. And we remember what happened last time they dropped the brand split. It's going to be the same show every single Monday and Friday. That's my biggest concern. At least with the brand split, we can get different people, even though it's kind of the same people each week on the different shows, but at least it's different. Whereas now we're going to have the same show on two different shows if the creative doesn't match up to what seems to be happening on the business side of things.
That's a good point.
Oh boy, Drew's here. This is like becoming a weekly thing now. All right, so I mean, if he's gonna be here and all that stuff after last week, I'm gonna dip.
So, Drew, what were your thoughts on the result? Anakin JMT taking the win.
Oh my gosh!
By the bonus point.
We have to point something out. Look at the side of this man's sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
What are your thoughts, head of the table?
All I gotta say is Maggie, save us.
Anakin.
All right. Let's all be quiet. Let's let Drew say whatever it is he wants to say. Go ahead, make him full screen, mute everybody. Drew, the floor is yours.
I'm so thankful for you to do that for me. Thank you so much. Well, okay, I'm not full screen completely, but that's okay. That's all right. Anakin, you and your bestie here. I mean, is that what you want to do right now? Think about it. Everything you've been through over these past few months. The only thing that ever matters for me is doing right by you. Okay? Maybe it didn't seem that way, but I just want you to know that I truly care for you. Don't you want to keep being main event Anakin JMT? Think about it. You beat your rival, your sworn enemy. He doesn't want you. He doesn't want you. Don't you understand that? I just don't want you to go back to a place where people, they look at you and they say, which one are you again? I don't want that for you. I think that you should stay far away from this guy because he's no good. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be up to you at the end of the day, but I don't know.
All I gotta say is that, man.
Yeah. All right. I got the one that matters right there.
Yeah. But you don't have the one belt you've been craving the entire time. And I swear to God, if you get out of this tournament, I will. And out of the love of this person, I will send it to Bulgaria and give that title personally to Maggie.
Oh, is that where you are, Maggie? Very interesting. You can talk. It's okay. Go right ahead. Nice to meet you.
Hi. So what the fuck is this?
He has what I've been calling recently in DMs a Roman Reigns complex.
Yes.
So literally, he thinks he's going to be the head of the Wicked Crazy Pinfalls title because that's the one thing he craves. He wants to be acknowledged and he wants that title. Well, guess what? It hasn't arrived in my mailbox yet. And he lives in the Bronx. I'm from Boston.
Okay, hold on.
So
my favorite baseball team, the baseball team that matters, is in the Bronx. I'm in Brooklyn.
Oh, still, you're in New York. And the thing about it is that
for me.
I would say one thing, Tampa Bay is better than both of your teams right now.
Yeah, true.
And my team too. So
semantics. We don't have to get into that right now.
But if it comes down to it, I will make sure anyone else is that champion. And I've already set the brackets just the way I think it's going to go.
Okay. All right. I noticed you announced some matches. You're trying to get Pluggo and Spencer to go at it. And I'm sure that's going to be a really great match.
I've got a couple of matches. I've got some ideas.
Oh, and by the way, just Anakin, just remember what I said. Just think about that.
Yeah, this ain't Friday Night Smackdown. I'm sorry. This is Wicked Crazy Pinfalls.
You also claimed that he beat me. We did tie. Like, he won on the tiebreaker. But it's all good. It's all
It's
good.
a win for Anakin. Yeah.
It's still a win. It
is. There's no moral victories here, man.
But, I'm just saying, when the head of the table ends up in that fatal four-way losers match, I'll beat him then.
That's what you think, man. That's what you think. All right.
That's what I know.
You don't know who you're going to be facing, and I already know the brackets, so I have the upper hand. And now, and I love the fact that she's agreed to it. Now we have the wild card in play. So you never know. Maggie might get upset, start swearing and stuff, and just say whatever she feels like. Because right now, She could do whatever she can because the world's got her hands, and that title could be hers if she wants.
I feel like a mom right now. Like to 6 little cute boys.
Hey, at least
Guys,
cute,
I
right?
gotta head out soon, but Throwback and I will work on the brackets and tune into the next predictions show on the sister channel. And as I said, if you guys aren't in the feature match for that specific pay-per-view, because we will have feature matches for the pay-per-views, if you're not in the feature match but you want to send in your predictions to me or to Throwback, send them through to us. I'll add them into, as I said, we've got a spreadsheet with all of the predictions and stuff like that, so we can kind of keep a running score of how you guys are doing on these pay-per-views. If you want to use that to build up a feud, if you want to use that to justify why you should be, getting the number 1 seed in the bracket, for example, if you've got a track record of dropping 70 out of 70% in each of your predictions leading up to the official bracket announcement, you could claim to be the number 1 seed. You could claim to be the number 16 seed if you want to start from the bottom and work your way all the way up. That could be an interesting take. But yeah, send those through to us. Otherwise, stay tuned. Wait to see which one's going to be the feature match for the next pay-per-view, which I believe is Hell in a Cell.
No, it's Takeover.
Takeover, yeah.
Ooh,
Takeover. The 13th.
Takeover.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In your house.
Oh shit! Is it next weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So I gotta be honest. I love the in your house gimmick, but I think they missed. You have 4th of July weekend. 4th of July is a Sunday. Takeover in your house, American Bash, something like that. Like, no one's running a show on that night. Like, that's, to me, that's a miss.
A lot of people forget that Takeover is the next pay-per-view because the build has been bad for that pay-per-view.
Because it hasn't existed. But
exactly. Yeah, just past week, that was like 5 matches that past week.
Adam Cole's been gone for 2 months. Here, he's in a title match.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll get to that.
LA does.
I like Adam Cole. He's very good. When he looked at Karrion Kross and said, "All they got to do for me is ring the damn bell," I was like, "Yes."
He killed Kross.
That's so good. But at the same point, like, he hasn't won matches in 2021. It's June. Why is he getting a title match right now?
Because Kross demanded it.
So what? Make it like you write the show. Make him win stuff first.
You know what? With that stuff, I gave up on that stuff for wrestling a long time ago. It doesn't wins or loss to them doesn't mean anything anymore.
I know, but when we accept it and just go, like I don't legit get mad about it because like it's wrestling and it's stupid. But like we shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like no, like that's a plot line failure that doesn't like it's not good enough.
I gave up on that stuff.
Tad, have a good night. Sleep well, my friend. I'll send you the brackets in there,
Tad.
Yeah, take care, Tad.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Let's just say this much, Drew. You're gonna run into a legend, and I swear to God, that legend will go right through you. Have a good night.
Head of the table got sent to his room with no dessert.
Hey, you're the opposite of Adam Pearce, man. Good for you.
Oh. Hey,
and don't forget to wash behind your ears.
He's still sitting there in the green room right now too.
Don't break kayfabe, brother.
I have a question for Anakin.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What the fuck is a fruit roll up?
A fruit roll up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And why am I not getting any?
Well, first of all, you're in Bulgaria, which is international shipping from the U.S. is pricey.
You can talk to Throwback about it, yeah?
I mean, I spent $90 to get a box to Sean in Kentucky,
and it took you 6 months to get
only a few. I am not made of money. Talk to this guy. He's the one with the money.
I work 50 hours a week, and I just Oh my God, Drew's laughing in the
Well played. Well played.
Man. Maggie rules.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not getting any of it, so.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh man.
I just made your stream must see. Thank you.
I will agree with that. I acknowledge you tonight, Maggie.
Maggie taking over.
Oh.
Wow.
Where have you been hiding her, Throwback?
I've been
In Bulgaria.
Come on, it's just her schedule is not conducive.
I'll
What
tell you
time is
where.
it there for you?
It's fucking 4 a.m.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. I've
But
always been bad at Throwback for doing these.
Yeah, I know.
late
And you literally be like, "What the fuck you thinking?"
Yeah, go back to
It's
yourself from your work.
I just got home from a night shift yet.
It just so happened it worked out because she popped in. So
I thought you needed me.
I appreciate it too because it works out. I mean,
Maggie, we don't get much females on here.
No.
Shocking.
We've had a few. I mean, the one person that was on the first one was Hannah, and that was awesome. And we did the roundtable and stuff for 2.5 hours that night.
Poor girl.
With well, it was me, DK, and Rob. So it was just us. And, yeah, but we had like Sean pop in and stuff like that. They were talking about Hannah's kids and everything. How Sean wanted to box one of them or something like that.
He's been threatening to beat one of them up for like 1.5 years.
Have a special guest. He needed to show up. So.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
Oh, so you have a pussy too.
Oh my god, this is awesome.
Right there.
Go back.
Right there.
Edit this video with disclaimers.
It literally was right there.
Oh my god, I can't edit this video. We're live.
Well, I'm just
We
gonna
didn't
be.
do anything. We're good.
I gotta drop that for now because man, I'm having too good a time.
The Roman thing is gone today. Now he destroyed
for now.
Just Becky lynched your asses.
Just imagine if you're.
I know,
Just
Sloan. That
imagine
took
if you're.
Maggie, you're definitely the man of the stream.
Oh my god.
Just imagine if your partner's name was Richard. Then you'd have a dick too.
I could just see it now. Like Maggie walks around getting a Becky Lynch shirt and just putting the man and everybody everybody in their place.
Make a t-shirt. I'll buy it. I got 3 man shirts in my closet. I'll buy it.
I already do this 24/7 at work. Please don't make me do this here.
I'm not going to.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think about that. Like, this is like right in line with your work all the time too.
I just almost mopped the floor with one of my bosses. I don't know.
Oh man,
that's good. I approve of
Yeah.
But oh man, talk about it. This is one that's for the record books. We had an ultimate promo from one guy down here. We had freaking these two complaining, and now Maggie just topped all of that in one shot. And we're literally like
you had a moment yourself. You had your moment yourself, Mister. You had a moment yourself.
And then we're like literally 1 year and 1 week into the next life cycle of the show.
I was so sorry I couldn't make it for the 1 year stream. I watched it the day after that. You guys had some fun without me. How dare you?
Talking about crack baby basketball.
We kind of felt bad about Alexa Mrs. Pig.
Jesus. No,
that was
something else, please.
That was just.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
I think wrestling just went out the window right now.
I gotta be honest. I was a little peeved at Jeff Hawkins for that. I gotta be honest. Like, it was funny, but it was also like, bro, nobody would say that about your dog. Come on.
Baby wrestling too. That was hilarious.
I'm getting text message for me like, who's this girl? And this is all from the Facebook side of everything privately. Who's this nice woman? She's so funny and hilarious. You need to keep her on a regular basis.
What do you mean, woman? What happened to the girl and the man?
No,
what?
This is Massachusetts people. They say woman. They don't say like girl or anything. It's just rightfully, respectful.
I don't know what this means.
It's basically saying that the person who sent me the message saying that you are awesome and that you need to be on a more regular basis to loosen the other ones are up a little bit.
This is the first time anyone's ever said this to me without seeing my boobs. This is great.
Oh,
I'm fully clothed. This is great.
I think wrestling went out the window. The whole thing.
Yeah,
No,
because
we can talk wrestling. Why?
this week has been way too depressing. So
not Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing was good. I very much enjoyed
good
that.
Mood
Okay,
until
that was
yesterday.
good. The pay-per-view was good.
I was
So
enjoying.
I'll say that for Double or Nothing, I did really, really enjoy it. My biggest complaint is
other than
is
losing Anakin.
It happens. Like when he gets the title, we'll have our match. I'll get it. No rush.
I literally mean it. I literally mean that if both of you try to win that match, I bet Maggie's going to pry that title off of you cold in hand.
Hey, you know what? We've only spoken for a few minutes, but I'm already willing to do that. Like that's fine. But my only real complaint.
I'm not even drunk.
But with Double or Nothing, like with two complaints. The Cody stuff, dumb, don't like it. But the bigger complaint that I really have is the Stadium Stampede match. Actually, like you had your first. Well, the match was fine, but I thought placing it as the main event didn't hit with me because like most of that match was taped. You had.
I like the first one better,
which is fine, but like you had your first live attendance crowd there. The main event that sends them home is a 10-person match, and they only see in-ring action from two people for what, a minute and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, that's not go home stuff. That's you put that somewhere middle back half of the card, fine. But like that shouldn't have main evented, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay, because I didn't have any problem with the Stadium Stampede main eventing because it was a problem for the people in attendance. And as I said, fuck everybody in attendance. I wasn't there, so I don't have a problem.
But apparently, people there like were really into it, and they were digging it, and they were cheering.
Good. I'm glad that nobody left.
Based on all the reports, like people there in attendance, like they were fine with it. Especially because then at the end they did have Sammy and Spears their live.
It was to get Sammy over. It was to get Sammy over. The only thing I like about that match, I mean, I think it was a good match, but the only thing I like about the whole thing was the Jericho and MJF stuff. That was the best part of the whole thing. I mean, besides Sammy Guevara stuff, when he did all those amazing moves backstage, but I think the best overall thing was MJF and Jericho because I love the cameos by Urban Meyer with the footballs. I love was it a thank you paper that he stapled to his head and stuff to MJF's head. I like that confrontation because I like it how the story is built in that match. How the leaders each leader takes on each other. The tag team takes on the tag team, and Shawn Spears takes on Sammy Guevara because those factions are feuding each other. But in those factions, each individual member and tag team were feuding with certain ones, right? That's what I like about the match.
So I almost would have liked, because it was so broken out by like those specific matchups that we saw, it got to the point where it's like 3-4 minutes of us not seeing somebody. This is pre-taped for the most part. If not, then when other time would you use a split screen? Like to me, split the screen with here's Jericho and MJF doing their thing. Here's Spears and Guevara doing their thing. And if during that time, hey, we only got 2 screens, we'll show you FTR and Santana and Ortiz later, and you roll them through, like, to me, that would have been better because you do go a long time without seeing people, too. And, like, I don't like that. in a 10-person match to go, it's been 3 minutes since I've seen this person in this match.
You know what, though? I think that because the first one was like that, too. It was,
and that was my biggest critique with that, too.
But I think what maybe made it worse this time around was that Blood and Guts was only a few weeks ago. And they did the exact same thing of just focusing on MJF and Jericho on top of the cage.
Yeah, and I didn't like that either.
Whole duration of the ending of that match, which just made everything else look like, okay, nothing else matters except this. So what the hell is everything else?
The tag team stuff between FTR and Santana Ortiz. How much time do they have? Like 5 minutes? That's it?
Maybe that they really didn't do a whole lot.
And Hager and Hogan
I didn't have an issue with it, with how it was laid out, then structured. I think overall, I think the goofier stuff I think worked better than most of the goofier stuff last year. Last year, you had one of the Young Bucks. I don't remember which one, but you had one of the Bucks doing suplexes to a guy literally all the way down the field.
I think that was Nick.
Matt. Matt.
It was Matt.
And then you had Santana, then Ortiz, dunking Matt Hardy in the water, which then when he would pop up, he would then be a different version of Matt. That stuff was great.
This was so sweet. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that was great. I thought this year it worked better overall. And I will say this: the goofy stuff, I think, was better than the goofy stuff we got at Money in the Bank last year. Because a lot of that stuff didn't really work for me. Whereas this year, I think it's because we had the Stadium Stampede last year, so we already kind of had a sense of what this match would be, so we were kind of expecting goofy stuff, whereas last year with Money in the Bank, it was the first time doing it, and we'd never seen purposefully goofy stuff like that. The goofiest thing we'd had before was when freaking James Ellsworth grabs a case and drops it down to Carmella, and then that's it.
Don't get me started.
Oh boy.
The goofy stuff is Otis winning the Money in the Bank.
So I do think you mentioned the stapling MJF spot. I do think that it's worth pointing out that MJF's reputation is that he's the chicken shit heel, but that he keeps doing spots like that.
I think he is.
Well, and I like that he keeps doing spots like this
he is a chicken
because
heel.
it helps undo some of that stuff of he won't do the aggressive stuff because he got real bloody at Blood and Guts. He's gotten real bloody before. Realistically, MJF gets bloodier than most people in AEW, and he's not known as the deathmatch guy.
You know what sequence reminded me of? Halftime Heat, Rock and Mankind. MJF, more in that match, he reminded me of The Rock during the Halftime Heat. Because
see, I disagree about him being that cowardly type of heel, because to me, he's more like, I'll fight you. I don't necessarily want to, but if you want to go and I have to go, I'll go and I'll knock your teeth in. And that's what we've seen, with him, I think, pretty consistently in his run in AEW. Now, I don't know what he was like in done before in MLW. I don't know what he was like then, but as far as his time in AEW, they don't really have any of those chicken shit heels,
right?
And AEW, not really.
That's kind of what I mean, though. Is a lot of people when they first look at him, they go, "Oh, he's like the Miz," but maybe a little bit more edgy. But when you actually watch him, and that's what I mean, is that initial first perception of when you see him versus once you've seen him actually work. He has that reputation of or at least that first impression of he's a guy that's going to cheat and not really do the aggressive stuff. But when you actually watch him, you go, oh, dang, he's way more hardcore than you'd think because, he's got this soft baby face and he kind of has that Miz look to him. He's got the Burberry scarf. You don't expect a guy like that to go barbed wire and stuff, but he'll do it. And I think that's cool.
Why is your curtain moving?
Oh, I have a fan. Sorry. Yeah. It's hot here. It's like 80 degrees. So
yeah, my fan turned off for some reason, so now it's hot.
Yeah.
So
no, it's Lily actually.
yeah, oh gosh. So I want to ask you guys about the Britt Baker and Sheeta match, because there's been a lot of discourse over it, because there's people like me who think that it kind of like started off like a little bit slower, and like they had a little bit of trouble finding their footing, but once they got to like that second gear, that's when it really kind of took off, which for me was when Rebel showed up. But then there's people who are like, no, like I didn't feel it was slow at all. I thought it was great, and a lot of people are saying that it was their favorite match on the card. So I'm kind of curious, like where you guys, because for me, and I said this on the prediction show, that was the match I was looking forward to the most, was Britt Baker versus Sheeta. So I was really looking forward to seeing that, and I just felt like for me it did seem to go a little bit slow at first. But then once Rebel showed up is then when they were like, okay, now it's go time, let's go.
I want to rewatch that match because I did feel the same way that you did. But
wow, everybody's getting along. This is crazy.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
AEW is good, man.
Yeah, it's AEW.
Yeah,
we talk about WWE. It's just
Mark.
Anger. Correct me if I'm wrong, but before that match was Miro and Archer, right?
Give me just a second. I'll pull up the card.
I think it went Cody Agogo, Miro Archer, and then Britt Sheeta.
Right.
I believe that's the order.
That's what I remember too.
Sting was after that. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Code. Yeah, we'll get into that in a moment. But the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is Cody and Agogo just sucked the wind all out of the room. Just that was. We all knew that Cody was going to win, and we all hated it.
Yeah.
We all knew the next match that Miro was going to win and not Archer. So even though it was a good match, I did enjoy the match. Just the way that Cody's stuff has been in AEW as of late, I think carried into just knowing that Miro was going to win. And then it took a little bit for me personally to just get into that Britt Sheeta match. Until the same moment, actually, that you just mentioned when Reba came out. That was the moment of like, oh, and she swung and then it hit Britt instead of Sheeta.
Yeah, the crush.
I was like, that just brought me right back.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with you guys as far as like slow start, but I don't mind that. Like, this is for both of these women. Like, this is a big spot that neither one of them had really been in before, because like Sheeta won the title after we lost crowd. I'm glad that they switched the title before the match.
Oh, thank goodness.
Because like Sheeta, realistically, she held that title for a year. Don't debut a brand new title as soon as she loses it. Like that, she earned that spot. So I'm glad that they did that. But they both were getting used to being in front of a big crowd, and so I'm sure that it took them a minute of getting kind of acclimated to that. And once they picked it up, they did a great job. As far as like the crutch spot goes, I don't mind that they did it because AEW doesn't do the distraction thing that often. But I do wish that they would have agented the card a little bit better, because we had a lot of distractions on Sunday night, and we don't normally get that from AEW. And that's their strength, is they don't do the distraction bullshit that WWE does. But we got a lot of it.
On our channel.
Yeah.
Maybe not a lot of distractions, but there is a lot of like post-match antics and like beatdowns and stuff, which is I think what has partly led to people complaining about like all the factions and doing stuff. And it's like, I will say this, like the stuff that AEW does is more logical than what WCW had done in the past or what WWE is doing now. It's more logical, but it's still one of the things where it's like, you don't necessarily have to have it. Like the stuff with the opening match between Hangman and which is it? Brian Cage?
Brian Cage.
Brian Cage. Like Brian that Cage, like it made sense, but it still was one of the things of like, did we need to have that? And then you see stuff with Kenny and the Good Brothers later on in the night, and then it's like there was a fair amount of this stuff.
But that's what I mean, though, is you got to like look at those and go, okay, which spots actually need it? Because like I think the Brian Cage thing, I think that actually worked. I had no problem with it because he realistically had that match, and now you've got a spot where you can kind of do something there. I don't think that Britt and Sheeta needed the Rebel thing. Like, to me, if you look at the matches of which ones you do not need the distraction, that probably was the one, because
I have a
realistically,
keep finishing.
Realistically, you want Britt to be your champion. Let her get over clean without. And I know the spot went wrong, but like, I don't think that was the spot where you needed it, because when you're using it 3-4 times a night, pick one.
She got over despite that.
Yeah.
Right. The thing with me is that, and it's something that I watched, cheap plug for The Distraction. I watched The Distraction today. It was wonderful. And something that particularly Joe said struck with me that I hadn't thought of in a while. It's like, wow, I'm watching Raw just constantly, and nothing is clicking. And he touched on why. And it's because I am not invested in a single fucking character on that show anymore. I loved Drew. I loved Bobby. I loved Braun was there. I loved, the Alexa stuff before the Lily thing happened. And it's just like all of these things, Shayna Baszler, every person on that show, I'm just not feeling a connection with anymore. And I think what happens with AEW when they do what they did of distraction it was every single match, right? With like a distraction or something happened. I'm invested and committed to these characters enough so that I know that they're doing it for a reason. So it didn't really bother me that much. Reba coming out and Jake with the snake and Dark Order and everybody that interfered. I didn't mind, it makes me go, okay, well now I look at Raw and there's like 2 distraction finishes on a 3-hour show and I'm bitching and moaning about it. It's because I'm not committed and invested to the characters on the show anymore.
With Raw, it's more so like you're ready to dismantle the whole thing and just change the name to SmackDown. Like literally, it's that bad.
I feel it on SmackDown to a certain extent too.
And realistically, like, you're absolutely correct in the sense of like WWE overdoes this, and like this is me nitpicking at AEW. Like, I would take the AEW problems over the WWE problems all day long because they're not as big of a deal.
Right.
But you want to make sure that it doesn't become that, because somebody, I can't remember when, but recently Jimmy Van had mentioned how someone had run the numbers. It's like half of the finishes in WWE this year have been distraction or just roll-ups or something like that. And I know AEW is not near that, but like, you don't want to flirt with that. And like, I thought that the spots, like, in and of themselves, yes, you can do that. That's fine. But normally when they do like the post-match chaos, they let the match finish and then everything breaks down. Yeah. And we didn't really do that. So again, this is I'll take this problem versus what we see with WWE. So like, it's just a nitpick. It's a small critique. The show ruled.
Ben, I will say, like, for me, like, as somebody who wasn't particularly feeling the match until the Rebel spot, like, I'm one who, like, nope, that's fine. Because once that happened, then it was boom, boom, let's go, like, really making it feel dramatic. And like,
there was honestly a moment where I actually thought that they were going to make Sheeta retain.
Yes,
me too.
That's fair.
When Sheeta went for that first pinfall attempt after Britt got hit with the crutch, I actually went, are they really not gonna do it? And then she kicked out and like, okay, and that and that's the thing. And I think too, because the first 2 matches on the card was Hangman and Brian Cage, and then the Bucks versus Eddie and Moxley. And for both of those matches, it was kind of a toss-up because you could really see both of those matches going either way. I mean, I had Brian Cage beating Hangman,
and I convinced me of that, honestly. After I heard your take on that, I was like, "Oh shoot, he's right." But I was right.
Well, yeah. Like you were right in the end, but there was logic in having Brian Cage win, and I had the Bucks winning the tag title match. But I said, but there's logic in having Moxley and Eddie win it too, and then you get to and those were really exciting matches, and then you get to Cody and a Go-Go, and for me, it's like it's Cody. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. Which Cody's by the way, boring. People who are saying Cody's doing a reign of terror like what Triple H did. Cody doesn't have a title. Okay, if Cody had a title, I could see it. But Cody doesn't have the world title. He doesn't have the TNT title. He doesn't have he doesn't have a title, and he's not showing up as much right now. Like it's fine. But you had that, and it's like, well, that's gonna be Cody. And then the next match with Miro and Lance Archer. Not only was Miro's gonna win, but it also felt like a bit of a slower match, which I was not expecting from these two beefy men. Like I was expecting it to be a little bit more than it was. So then by the time you got to Shida and Britt, it's like, okay, this is now the third match where like it's not real, like it's not quite back up to the level that the first two matches were, plus the match on the buy-in, which was my match of the night, which was fantastic. And it wasn't until that Rebel spot where I felt, okay, they've picked it back up, and then from there is when things were, I thought went really well.
So with Double or Nothing, yes.
Sorry. Okay, so first of all, I really need to rewatch some of the matches because I was on the stream for Double or Nothing, and you guys know when you're on the stream, you can actually pay the attention you want to on the matches properly. So the Britt Baker match is definitely the one I'll rewatch first because I didn't get to pay that much attention to it because of Joel, probably, and it was the one I was really looking forward to the most. We all needed to see that title on Britt. We all needed to. So the second match I needed to see was the Miro match. But let me tell you what I was doing the whole time the Miro match. After that fucking Cody win, like I can't actually explain it to you. None of us on the stream had Cody winning. Because we were like, surely he's not going to win. Come on. And we were all certain that a Go-Go was going to win this match. Because we were like, Cody, come, like, no. Like, nah. And then he fucking won. And we all turned silent. We all shut the hell up. And, like, the next match, the match I really wanted to, like, to see Miro with a fucking belt on AEW, and I was like, yeah, okay, is this match good? Because I have no fucking idea. I'm not watching it. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What why?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me.
But
yeah,
what
I'm sure. Like I'm not like nobody put like words in my mouth. I'm not saying Cody is like a bad wrestler or like any of that. For me, the moment Cody beat Sean Spears, this wasn't right for me. Sean Spears should have won this match. Like he hasn't been able to get back on his feet ever since. He did nothing.
That's
like
fair.
why is he there? Like he was on this spot over at WWE, and now he's kind of in the same spot because again he's on the losing team. He lost again on the pay-per-view.
It'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see what Spears' career trajectory would have looked like had he won that match. Like him in the Pinnacle now. Like that's two guys that Cody has lost to. Like you got a story there.
Actually, if he had beaten Cody, maybe he would have been in a title contender.
TNT champ.
I think Tumi Coley is just a boring. He's just boring. Well, he's a good wrestler, but he's boring. He's trying to be the Triple H of AEW. He doesn't need a title or anything like that. But it doesn't work for him. He's not.
I don't think he's trying to be the Triple H. I just think he's very much in the vein of like an old school wrestler, which makes sense with that. Yeah, and that's the problem is like it's very hard to be like an old school type of wrestler nowadays. Like even FTR, who are a pardon the pun throwback
the pinnacle
to old style tag teams. Like even they've had to kind of adjust and be a little bit more modern.
Well, the pinnacle is basically Double
or Nothing now going in the backside of everything, and Britt having the women's title. Do you see like at All Out, Deonna Purrazzo and Britt headlining that?
No,
or do you see it somewhere else because people are making photos of both of them with both titles, and literally people are freaking out about it. I would literally buy All Out just to see that match. That's the one match I would be highly interested in.
Possible, but like I need to see a good build up to that because like when Cody competed for the Impact title, what happened there? Like none of the Impact guys invaded AEW.
None.
Why?
Yeah.
Like what? Not even a promo, guys. Not even a promo. Like Kenny was there.
Yeah,
each and every week, Kenny was there. Like I'm not saying he was supposed to be, but like not even like an interview from the back from his house doing barbecue. Shitting himself, I don't know. They did nothing. So I think I might say it's a bit too soon for All Out, but if they
and the thing too is like there's people who are going, oh well, it made sense that AEW never did any promotion because of the paid ads that Tony Khan was putting on Impact. I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm like, sure. That's the kayfabe answer, but this is an actual business.
Okay, first of all, and second of all, it's about their goddamn title. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. And now, why wouldn't Rich Swann have wanted to go and beat up Kenny in AEW and get one up on him if Kenny was able to do it to him all the time on Impact?
Like, what the heck is happening with the Impact title anyway? What's the picture with that? With Kenny?
Kenny's hitting people with it.
Who's going after him? Who's like the main
Well, Moose has a match with him.
Okay.
Like they do have that set up.
So when does that happen? Is that anniversary?
Which I'll be honest, that's why I thought Orange Cassidy was going to win because because what I thought was Cassidy would pin Pac, and then Kenny gets all mad because like why else did you do that as a triple threat match? You don't use triple threat matches in AEW. So if Orange Cassidy pins Pac, Kenny gets mad because he lost his title without actually losing it. He goes nuts and loses his mind, and while he's trying to get that title back, then he drops the titles to Moose. He drops the title to Andrade. And when he's lost everything, he finally gets a chance to get his title back from Orange Cassidy. And then he gets the title back, and then Hangman shows up and is like, I'm next, motherfucker. Like, that would be cool.
You know what? I know guys don't like distraction finishes. In AEW Double or Nothing had a lot of that distractions. But maybe for that match, coming to your point with Orange Cassidy winning, maybe Moose should interfere in that match and cost Kenny Omega the AEW title.
That's what I was kind of hoping was going to happen, is that Moose comes out and controls his narrative and just is beating the piss out of Kenny and makes him watch Orange Cassidy pin Pac for the win. Like, that would have just been like,
yeah. You know what though? I knew that wasn't that no Impact people were coming because I'm just so accustomed to that now.
Yeah.
So the reason why I was good with the triple threat stipulation now was because they needed a way for Kenny to retain, and having it be a no DQ triple threat.
That's the right answer.
When Kenny attacked the ref That was a huge moment that I did not see coming for
That's smart.
a while.
Yeah,
it was so smart.
Well, Pac wasn't going to let him go. He's like,
he was not letting go of that hold. He was not letting go of that hold, and he just waxed the ref. It was like brilliant. It was. I swear that was one of the most incredible triple threat matches I've ever seen because of that. Even just because of that moment, because of how great that was.
So going back to Throwback's original question of Gianna versus Britt. Right now, I don't have any confidence that would be something that they would actually do on AEW. Maybe they do it on Impact, but I don't have any confidence that they would put that on an AEW show and be promoting it on AEW television, which is unfortunate. But if they're not gonna do it with Kenny and the world title, I don't see any reason why they would do it with Britt and the women's title on AEW television. As far as All Out, right now, Thunder Rosa, I believe Thunder Rosa is number 1 in the rankings right now. As of right now, and my thought is, okay, she's got to take a loss really soon to keep her out of the title picture, because I see All Out being Thunder Rosa versus Britt, and you cannot keep those two apart right now without doing something to stop Thunder Rosa from being at the top, especially when the very beginning of Elevation on Monday, Thunder Rosa cut a promo on Britt saying, "Hey, I'm coming for you." You have so I think they've got to do something. Ty Conti, I think, is number 2, so maybe Ty beats Thunder Rosa, and then you set up a big match on Dynamite. Maybe Sheeta climbs her way up because Sheeta's number 3 right now. Maybe Sheeta then after Ty or something. Yeah, she's number 3. And
AEW has a rematch clause, so we will get a Sheeta match. I'm pretty sure, because Mox got one with Kenny, Jericho got one with Mox, I think, or no, he never took it. But I do think they have a rematch clause. But I think
they have a
Darby
super card.
Didn't get a rematch with Miro.
Remember AEW wants super AEW Dynamite super cards. Remember that when we discussed the new show. So maybe we get a Sheeta Breaker rematch, a super card. I'm pretty sure there's probably gonna be one during the summer before All Out.
I got it. Rampage.
So
debut, yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up while we're running hot because it's literally almost 5 to 6 a.m. in Bulgaria, probably, right, Nagy?
No, it's 4:20.
That makes sense for your country.
So we can wrap this up, but I do think it is important to know that Thunder Rosa is still NWA until January 1st. To me, that screams Revolution. She takes it off of Britt. And so you mentioned that Thunder Rosa needs to take a loss. I think you've got to do that. You can do a couple other things. Statlander, too, is back, and she looks great. Yeah, that'd be cool, too. I think Thunder Rosa's Revolution.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't think Rosa would win it All Out. She gets, you make that the big title match.
But they've already done 2 matches. They've already done 2. You got to be careful not overdoing it.
Third could be the final rubber match.
So why don't we wrap this up now so that way we could all just, be happy-go-lucky and, Anna can do laps and say he beat Ray. So
I don't need to brag about
it. Let's start with Ray. You can tell him where they.
You can find me on Twitter at AngryBeaver1127. I do prediction shows for different AEW when they have them, Impact and WWE pay-per-views. So I'll have to do one soon for In Your House, and then all the other stuff that comes out there. I tweet about wrestling and other things. I have a terrible website where I review 1980s pay-per-views because that's what I do in my spare time because I'm a nerd. So, yeah, give me a follow. It's fun.
All right. Go ahead. Annoying head of the table.
You see.
Oh,
I calm it down.
No,
I'm
Maggie.
engaging. I'm not
Maggie
cutting a
basically
promo.
took over the whole thing, and because to that, she gets the last spot on promoting herself. So
Oh
go
no,
ahead.
that's fine. I am totally fine with that. I'm just like now I'm annoying. It's like I was on here, I was engaging, I was being nice to everybody, and then you call me annoying. All right, you know what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, you not seeing the light of the day of that title belt that I have coming. Have a good day. Bye. All right, Aaron, tell them where they can find you.
Ray, you missed it. Throwback just pieced out Drew.
No, I had it on. My kid's up, so I'm putting her back to bed. So
I gotta put my kid to bed.
Yeah, I gotta put her back to bed after we finish here.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
I'm 31. My kid's 4, so.
I
look way older, right?
My kid will be 9 in 32 days.
Okay, first of all, bullshit.
You want me to bring him up?
He has evidence. I see this kid.
Yeah.
So you're 20.
No,
all right, Drew.
I'm 35.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going
31.
this crazy train. Drew, tell them where they can find you.
At Big Money Drew on Twitter, the best and worst app out there.
All right, Aaron, tell them where they can find you.
Before I let you go, before I plug myself, as you can tell, I'm the biggest Blanca stan there is. I'll tell you, that was fun. When Bailey even said that was pretty funny. Her laugh.
Michael Cole said it.
But when she reminded him, the way she yelled it out, it reminded of Michael Cole. Blanca!
Bailey rules, though.
Yeah. So you can find me on my channel, Aaron Entertainment. I talk about wrestling, pop culture. I didn't make an episode for that today. I usually do it on Thursdays, but you know what? I didn't make one. I talk about sports. I do that. You
want to do one tomorrow?
I think I'm a little busy tomorrow in the afternoon. Sorry, man. Maybe next week. And I do make videos.
So, all right. And best, but not certainly last. Go ahead, Maggie. You can tell them where they can find you.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter at, what was it? At Maggie underscore IK, when you can see me yelling at people for being disrespectful towards sports journalists all the time. And on Instagram at maggie.ik, when you can see me doing burpee push-ups all day.
Also, she's really a good person, and thank you for coming on, Maggie.
Yeah, I swear I'm a ray of fucking sunshine.
You are quickly like atop the list of like best guests on the show. Like come back anytime.
Forget Sean Ross Sapp.
After Sean Ross Sapp, right? Fuck.
No. I'm putting you above Sean Ross Sapp. I'm doing it.
and there's your future Wicked Crazy Pinfalls world champion right there. And by the way, Anakin, it's $60 to ship it to Bulgaria. Have a good night, guys. Do a good deed, pay it forward.
Yeah, I never plugged.